Hello again, classic Rolls Royce fans. Sadly, I don't have any Grey Poupon jokes today. But here we have a GFCC 1993 Rolls Royce Corniche IV in the convertible version. Yeah, nice little line drawing. It is not licensed apparently, but this car's so old, maybe you don't need licensing. Thanks to Bentley Gold Coast, we seem to have photos of this exact model, or vice versa. So I don't know what year this one is. I didn't bother looking into that. But I did look up some statistics of Wikipedia or the internet. The Corniche IV, it was made between 1971 to 1995. Over 6,800 of them were made. In 1992 to 1995 would be the last, facelifted version. And I think that's what this is. There was an earlier one where it only had different lights, and basically 6.75 liter V8 engine making 237 horsepower, 4-speed automatic, and that's all I cared to learn. I don't know why it came with this crazy film, but it did. Oh, well, that's nice. There's no separate card. It's just there, right? The separate card is retention, but if it can be done without it, do it without it. It just makes it easier to get it out of the packaging, and it's less money. Tape dots. So you take one off, open it this way, get the other one off. These tape dots very often leave glue residue, so let's see if the cap is very loose or not. It's not, which is kind of dangerous, because you instinctively just want to pick things up like this, but if the model then falls loose and falls to the floor and gets all broken, so be mindful of that. Alright, let's take a look at these images here. I don't even think that's a metallic color. It's just like a dark maroon, wine red Merlot or something. Burgundy. Ron Burgundy. Although, yeah, this is actually a lighter one. I suppose, being a Rolls Royce, you could have had these come in many different colors, custom ordered or whatnot. Notice these really oddly, just weird rectangular taillights in this thing, right? Everything else is so graceful and organic looking, and then they just threw in these rectangular lights. Oh, and also there as well. And that is the interior of this car. It just has a black steering wheel where everything else is tan and wood. Well, you have your standard molded plastic base with 2 screws holding it down. There's a nice carbon fiber texture. And then we have the metal nameplate. It's not limited or anything like that to my understanding, because it would probably say so if it was. So starting on this side of the vehicle, we do have those tread blocks. So annoying. Nowhere in those photographs do I see tread blocks look like this, right? It's just so weird that brands do this. I don't understand why they have to have these tread blocks look like this. It looks like it's going to go off-roading. This is a rally Rolls Royce, apparently. So the RR in here looks nice. Some wheels, they have like a color match stripe here, so they skip that. I can understand that. I don't think there's a brake system, because I'm literally looking through to the other side where my finger is, but it's nice that there's air passing here. And the white wall is printed pretty concentric, so that's good. Then we have a little chin spoiler I'm noticing here as part of the casting. That's nice. The silver paint on the side seems well applied. Okay, boy, these tires are such an eyesore, though. Alright, so yeah, this all looks fine and all. So this does look like it would roll okay if you took it off the base, but I'm not going to do so. The panel gaps are okay. We have a raised reflector here. The door handle, I think, is a separate piece of plastic chromed out. Not much else on the side of a Rolls Royce. Maybe in certain countries you didn't have to have those rectangular reflectors on the side, because this one just skips it entirely. But in America, I guess they had to run those extra lights on the side. So the mirror is very narrow, but it's color matched, looks okay. Going to the front, we have the Spirit of Ecstasy there, molded as well as it can be, I guess, in 164. And then we have nice translucent turn signals, orange up top, white on the bottom. And then we have chrome plastic, I guess, light. They're not light buckets, I don't know what you would call that, but the surround for the headlights. And then the clearness of those lights is plastic, and there's some silver, I guess, behind them, because it's not dark behind them. Here, Parthenon grill here, nice textures, and the RR, well, I don't know, looks crooked or something off initial impressions. Let's see if we can see that logo. Yeah, it is crooked. I think it might be a decal though. Looks like it's black and shiny chrome or something. It's nice to see there's something in the license plate and it's actually useful information. It's weird, there's nothing down here. I don't know if that's true to the real car. Like there's no additional venting to a radiator. But maybe because well, I don't know. Maybe this is big enough for the radiator for a 6.75 liter engine. Alright, those tires. Horrible tires, horrible. Fuel filler on this side. These bumpers, I don't know if they're separate pieces. Actually, there's a gap here. The front one? Yeah, they are separate bumpers. Oh, and I also missed the top of the bumper has some chrome on it. Interesting. Oh boy, is that an opening panel? No, it's not, thankfully. Okay, so this bumper also has some chrome on it. Nice license plate stuff. And yeah, it's weird to just have these blocky taillights in the design. It has nothing to do with GFCC. It's just whoever does, Bill Allen designing this thing. Why? Why wouldn't you have these look similar, like to those? It's nice that there's some silver before they added those things on, because that silver first looks like the chrome bezel, but second, it's reflecting the light getting through this. Without the silver, this would look the same color as this almost, right? Anyhow, yeah, this is all painted all right. A separate chromed piece here, and that is actually accurate looking, although this should be an RR right here, I think, and I don't see it. The bump for the third brake light, and that's printed on. So you got this big bulky tonneau here. It's hard plastic. It cannot be removed. There's no additional roof piece, which is fine because I would never display a convertible with the roof up anyways. I suppose these little buttons could have been painted silver. They're probably chrome on the real thing. Decent enough cushioning details, a little bit of contaminant in there. Or just lint. Okay. Oh, nice. The back of the seats here have wood panels, and then a nice wooden decal with the radio and other switches. But it is decal, see, it's air pocket. Not cool, but it's to be expected, I think, in the interior. I think it would be hard to get a tampo print in a lot of these recesses. But yeah, that could peel off or crack in the future, so be mindful of that. Interesting. This thing. Oh, that must be for the seat belts. Yeah, the seat belts must attach here. Maybe speaker recesses, if I had to guess. And then a decal for the wood trim on the doors. Some silver as well. This actually is a tampo print, and that's paint as well. So, would have been cool if they somehow printed that, but it would require at least 3 different colors of printing. Dashboard here, yeah, nice decal, I guess. Obviously, paint would be better. Well, this is nice. They actually have one of those foil decals for the Rolls Royce and the steering wheel. It's weird that they wouldn't have one back here. Maybe it's just too small. That might be it. Because that actually looks quite large. The front, again, it's probably the same decal. Yeah, so maybe that's why it's not on the back. It wouldn't look right. No indication of pedals that I can see. Yeah, I feel like they could have just molded in some rectangular boxes to look like the pedals down there. Well, at least they got the colors pretty much correct, it looks like, on this interior. It just has a weird black steering wheel, right? Because Rolls-Royce isn't going to make their own steering wheel with an airbag in it. The mirror here is black, and that looks black on the photographs. So the visors here are cream colored as well, and the top of the dash is just totally plain. Weird. I kind of feel like if I look at the photos, there should be some vents in here. I've never seen a dashboard without vents, right? Because you'd have to defrost the windshield, right? So that's lazy on GFCC's part. They could have easily molded in some vents there. Almost every other brand would do that, including these guys probably on their other models. The wiper blades are photo etched pieces. They're, I guess, laid on not well enough, although they look very, very short. I don't know if the real Rolls Royce had wiper blades this small, but imagine this thing sweeping. It would not really wipe much of the windscreen. So that's weird. Anyone that's ever been in a car, owned a car, would know that a wiper blade should be wider than that. So that's another weird thing about the design of this. Oh, look at this mirror. That is totally jacked up. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. It's a separate piece, but I'm afraid if I break it off, and it's going to have a big paint problem. So, oh, yeah. No additional sticker or paint in the side view mirrors. It is recessed though, so it could be added easily enough. It's weird that they wouldn't do it on here, but they did do a sticker here. So, well, not the greatest model, but not bad either. Alright, so GFCC seems to love Rolls Royces because they have a Silver Spur 3 as well. And they have other ones too, but a lot of them have opening panels, so I don't buy those. I just don't like opening panels because the panel gaps aren't consistent with the ones that don't open, so not a fan. DCM made this Phantom 4. Oh boy, no, never mind. I thought I had a scratch of the hood. So that's a far more classic roller. And then this, I don't know who made. It's just one of those fly-by-night operations, you know, no branding. But it's a two-door of some sort of Phantom coupe. I don't know what generation that would be, like a Phantom 7 coupe maybe? Or, yes, I think it's a 7. I don't know. It's not even the same platform. But whoever did this, it's got a far more, very elaborate looking interior. Look how big the wheels have grown. Just these modern Rolls Royces, and also the very classic ones, they're just big vehicles. So it'd be nice to see someone come and add some more modern drop top rollers, but what's the one? It's the Boat Tail Speedster, or Boat Tail. I think it's a one-off Rolls Royce that was done. That would be cool to see, but maybe they just can't do too many colorways because it's a one-off Rolls Royce. I don't know if there actually are modern drop top Rolls Royces. Maybe there aren't. Leave a comment if you know. Anyhow, yeah, so this is okay. No glaring quality control problems. You know, that mirror, I guess, would be the worst QC problem. It's just some weird design choices. The tire knobbies, that could easily be corrected. Like none of the other, even this GFCC, the tires don't look as knobby. They're still there. It's not great, but it looks smoother than what's going on here for sure. Yeah, so strange. Some weird decisions, but if you like classic Rolls Royces, you know, it's not. I think this would be worth picking up. I think it comes in many different colors as well. I think this. I was going for like the Rolls Royce from, what was it? Sweet 16 Candles. I don't know if that was a Corniche 4 though, but I remember that movie and the little blonde kid was driving that thing around with the hot blonde girl he didn't belong with, that kind of thing. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you the next time I get a small Rolls Royce in.